Collection podcast. We are going to talk about some good gaming stuff. Hopefully I'm actually showing up on your screen, this thing. I'm going to actually check because last time I did this, I had some issues. Had some video problems, and I really got no other way to check, so I'm going to check if that is okay with y'all. Load, darn you. So I'll tell you what, never try to edit with Horizon 3. Just doesn't work. Can you see me? Might be a little loud. Just be ready. Do have to be a little quiet. Everyone's asleep. After this, we will start the podcast in full. Perfect. Awesome. Okay. You can see me. So, this is a friendly reminder to all of you, okay? Sunday is Mother's Day. Okay, so I want to go and just throw this out there. I want to say thank you to all the mothers in my life. Thank you for my mom. I want to say thanks for birth of my nephew. And I really just want to say, most importantly, thank you to my wife. She's the mother of 3 beautiful children. She has... Man, she's stuck with me through a lot. I put her through a lot. And I didn't want to write anything down because I really wanted this to be from the heart. But she means the world to me. And these kids I've got, man, my kids are great. And I just want to say thank you, honey, for sticking with me, for supporting me through getting lights and cameras and doing this podcast stuff. You mean the world to me. You really do. And I don't think words will ever be able to express how much you really mean to me, but I do love you. And hopefully you won't watch this till Sunday, but happy Mother's Day. Thank you so much for being such an incredible mom to 3 wonderful children. All right, back to video games, because that was sappy, but it need to be said. Mother's Day is Sunday. Okay. All right. So, first thing I want to talk to you about is, do you own a Nintendo Switch? Because if you don't, you really need to get one, okay? Now is the time. It is prime time to own a Nintendo Switch. All right. And let me tell you why, okay? We're going to get a little video show up because I'm going to list you off. I'm going to read you off a list. And I guarantee you that there is something on here that is going to pique your interest, okay? And we're going to start with a big one. Big one. Bayonetta 3. All the exact dates when these are going to come out or anything, but I've been scrambling to get stuff done for Mother's Day. I've been scrambling to get this done, and I've been very busy, but we got Bayonetta 3, and this game looks incredible. A lot of Bayonetta fans out there. Oh my goodness, I forgot. I'm going to post the Discord in the chat. Whoops. I actually think I am showing you all this, and that would be no good. I hope I'm not. Did I mention I'm not very good at this? Yes, I'm showing you all this. Whoops. Anyway, let me post that in chat. So in case you guys want to join the conversation, you can. I would love for you to be there. This is embarrassing. There it is. Sign into chat. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I don't... I really didn't think. I thought it was already signed. I am so sorry. This is why you edit this out later. And I have to use my phone. And my phone's over there. Okay, so nothing left to do but to pay really close attention to the chat in OBS and hope maybe I can in OBS. We're about to learn something here. Okay, can I... Nope, I cannot. Okay, so if someone says something in chat, well then I'll go to Discord and we'll get you a code, okay? It'll be fun. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to do this. All right. Where were we? Talking about Bayonetta 3. The reason you need a Switch. The reason you need a Switch is tons of games. Tons of really great, fantastic games. Okay. Bayonetta 3 being one of them. I actually have a list here. Okay. We have Bayonetta 3, Splatoon 3. I'm going to skip that one for now. You have Oxenfree 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, The Portal Companion, Sonic Frontiers, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And last Metroid 4 is kind of iffy because people have been waiting for that for years. But I mean, look at this game. This looks freaking incredible. Now, I've never personally played a Bayonetta game. I think they look amazing. This is Platinum when Platinum does well. Platinum games, you may know as the Nier Automata. Platinum makes really great combat. They make really fun games. And I think if there was a time to get into these games, I think now would be the time. I think this is a excellent time. It's very Japanese. It's very wacky. Now, Ratchet Gaming, my buddy Ratchet, he has played Bayonetta. I think he played 1 and not 2. I can't quite remember. But he's saying nothing but his praises. So you can always trust Ratchet. I'm figuring this out. I will eventually, with enough practice, get my hotkeys down. I'm very sorry. But, it's... There's something for everyone on the Switch. And I just don't see a reason not to have it right now. It goes everywhere you want to. I didn't even mention Expansion Plus or whatever you call it. I have it. It's fantastic. What games do we have on there? Haven't played too many because I kind of leave the Switch to my wife. She loves Animal Crossing, which is saying something because my wife does not play video games. She loves Animal Crossing. I play Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. If that's not like reason enough to get a Switch, I don't know what is going to convince you. The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time is... It's really hard to say it's the best Zelda anymore, but it's really great. There's Super Mario 64, there's Yoshi's Story, Star Fox 64, which, listen, you may not have the fondest memories of Star Fox 64, I don't know, but I played it and holy crap, it's good. Like, I don't remember it being that good. I remember playing the crap out of it when I was a kid, but that game is fantastic. Mentioned the Ocarina of Time. There's Sin and Punishment, which kind of feels like Star Fox made by the Persona team, or the Shin Megami. It's more of a Shin Megami Tensei team, which I think is the same, but I'm not entirely sure. What else is there? They put on Super Mario Tennis. They have Super Mario Golf. There's just tons of games. There's no reason not to own a Switch right now. It goes everywhere you want it to. People complain about the drift. I honestly don't have a problem with the drift. Maybe if you quit eating pizza and potato chips and playing your video games, it wouldn't freaking happen. I don't know. I don't know why people have a problem with this. But Donovan, my man. Donovan. Do you want to join the Discord? Because I've messed up. I use my phone as the camera, and I've got that 2-step verification thing, so I would actually have to take my phone off the stand, which I could do, yeah, let me do that. Give me a minute and I'll see what I can't do. But right now we're talking about why you own a Switch. Why do you need to own a Switch? And I was just saying there's something for everybody, and I was actually hoping you pop up, and you popped up at the perfect time, because Sonic Frontiers is coming out this year for the Nintendo Switch. And not only that, I think there's a Sonic collection that features, I could be completely wrong. I've been in a rush to get information, but I know it has Sonic 3, which people are saying that's huge. It's got Sonic 2, and I think it's got Sonic 1. I think they said it's the whole collection. So, I mean, you love Sonic. Why would you not own a Switch? great time to own a Switch. You got Bayonetta, you've got Splatoon, you've got, what other games he had? Pokemon. I don't know why, but Pokemon continues to sell. Like, if you look at the top games that sold last year, I'm pretty sure Pokemon, whatever it was, I don't know, I bought it for my kids, Sword and Shield was like the top 10 selling games of last year. Those games sell like crazy. And with the Switch has now surpassed the PS4 in total sales in the US. So, I mean, everyone's going to want their game to be on the Switch. It's selling like crazy. What did it release in 2017? It's been 5 years, and it's still selling. I mean, there's no reason not to get one. Now is the time, man. Donovan, it's time. You tell that ninja girl, calm down. It's podcast time. It is podcast time. Now, Donovan, do you want to join? Do you want to join the Discord? Because that would mean I would have to like grab that and then like do thingies on it. Also, can you hear me? Like, do I sound okay? Have to depend on Donovan. I could just check the stream, but God, this is gonna be weird. Oh my gosh, I didn't turn off that video. Are you guys ready for this? Actually gonna test it out. Now, Donovan, do you want to join? Do you want to join the Discord? Because that would mean I would have to like grab that, back that mic up, do thingies on it. Also, can you hear me? Like, do I sound okay? God, that's awful. Thanks for tuning in, Donovan. I don't know why you do it, but I appreciate you. Okay, so next order of business. Square Enix. Now, I'm a big Square Enix guy. I love Final Fantasy. I want to try to get into Dragon Quest. It's on my backlog. I think I got Dragon Quest 11. I would say that they make the Tomb Raider games, but that's actually what we're going to talk about. Yeah. Okay. That's perfectly fine, Donovan. Perfectly fine. So Square Enix has actually sold their Western companies that are responsible for the Marvel Avengers game. They're responsible for the Tomb Raider games. And I'm not surprised about the Marvel Avengers. I don't know if they made Outriders too, but I think they might have. They got rid of Tomb Raider. Like, Tomb Raider was I don't know about the financial side of it, but those games were great as far as I remember. I think the last one wasn't very well reviewed on Metacritic, but the other ones were incredibly well reviewed. I don't understand why on earth Square Enix would sell its properties like that. Okay, now let me make sure. Just confirm. No. Okay. Getting these hotkeys memorized. And it sold it to some Swedish group that I actually went to their website, and it doesn't even look like they make video games. I don't understand. Maybe it's just like a foreign thing where these games had never released in the US and I just don't know about them. I don't really know. It says the problem I have with this scenario is that this is coming from GameSpot, excuse me, is that $300 million for a company that generated well over $2.4 billion last year doesn't feel like a great haul at all. If Embracer was throwing tons of money their way, it would make sense to sell this heightened M&A atmosphere. But $300 million strikes me as a price tag for a highly distressed company given their recent revenue results. It's closer to Activision's proposed buyout by Microsoft from this perspective. But there must be more to the story than I just know about that helps explain it. It's just a bit of a head scratcher. Now, this doesn't make sense, okay? I know that Marvel Avengers lost a lot of money, a ton of money, but Square Enix is usually pretty good about giving their games a chance. You know, you look at Final Fantasy 14. They do make awesome metal music, Donovan. Yes, they do. You look at Final Fantasy 14. They're still trying to make Babylon's Fall a good game. The only thing that I can think is that I think they might be getting bought out. And this is not surprising to me at all. I know Sony's been gearing up for more acquisitions. They're not done yet. I haven't read anything about Microsoft because I don't own an Xbox and I don't PC game. So maybe there's something there that I'm not aware of. But it would make so much sense. And it would be kind of redundant and pointless in my mind for Sony to buy Square Enix. They have such a good relationship. Final Fantasy 7 Remake for the PC port is not great from my understanding, which I don't know if that's just PC gamers being spoiled because they own a PC or what the actual issue is. But it was a year, I believe, that Final Fantasy Remake was exclusive on the PlayStation. And so I'm kind of like, don't they kind of already have that relationship? Square Enix does not make sense to me for PlayStation to buy. German, Sweden, I mean, I don't know the difference. I've never been. They could sound exactly the same as far as I know, but I know that's probably really offensive to Swedish and German people, so it was a joke. Satire. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, I'm glad you're enjoying that album though, Donovan. You dig your music, dude. I wish I need to look it up. I've been listening to Nier Automata. If you ever listen to their soundtrack, the Nier Replicant, the Nier Automata soundtrack, I've been really getting into it. And part of it is to help inspire me for my D&D campaign that I'm working on. It's very slow going. I'm trying to juggle like a million things. But I wouldn't say it's like moody music. Not mood, what's the word I'm looking for? It's very soothing, thought-provoking. But there are times when I just want to forget what's going on and listen to some metal. So the next time I need that, Donovan, thank you. I will listen to Rammstein. Hey, do you know if it's on Spotify? If you put that in chat, I'd appreciate that. Now, what was I talking about? They're talking about the Square Enix deal. It just really doesn't make any sense to me at all for Sony to buy Square Enix. But it does raise the question as to why this company would sell its Western studios for so cheap. I know Marvel Avengers lost a lot of money, but I'm pretty sure Tomb Raider sold really well for such a well-reviewed game. It's such a huge IP. People love Tomb Raider. Do you really? That's freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. I'm jealous. What a man. What a Dono man. Holy crap, Donovan. A real, the true fan. I looked at the last thing I looked at was the Final Fantasy 7 Remake album, and it's like, you can get this for $70. I'm like, I have 3 kids and I'm cheap. No. Me and Ratchet have talked about wanting to go to Japan and see like the live concerts and stuff like that. I think that would be just one of the coolest experiences out there. I like talking, sorry. But I want to see what's going to happen with Square Enix. I know that the president, I believe it was the president of Square Enix, had an interview a while ago where he said, we can't make games like Westerners if we want to be successful, which I think is 100% true. I think you look at the best Square Enix has to offer, they do what Square Enix does, and I don't think anybody can do it better. You look at the Final Fantasy games, I'd say from 13 or from 12 and back, I don't think 13 was that good. I think 15 had an unfortunate development cycle. But everything before that, I think is a must play, 100%. Whether just to see kind of how that shaped storytelling in gaming, or to see how that kind of shaped RPGs that you play nowadays, because RPGs are on the rise for some reason. I don't know. Shin Megami Tensei 5 passed 1 million like a couple weeks ago. what was it, Triangle Strategy, which looks incredible. Another Switch game that I really, really want. I think it's on like 800,000 close to its release, like maybe a month or two after its release. That's huge for a little 2D tactics game. What the crap? So there's a growing audience for these kind of games, and I think Square Enix is the place to go to get that when you want that fix. And I think they do it best. I think they've slipped up quite a bit recently, especially with their Western studios. But I want to see what's going to happen. I'm very curious. I love Square Enix, big Square Enix fan. I know some people don't think they do well, but I will say this. You think about, people love Skyrim. Oh, Skyrim, it's wax poetic upon the mantle of the Skyrim. Can we talk about Bethesda for a second? Let's talk about Bethesda for a second. Do you remember the final Fallout 76 debacle for the, what was it, the tote bags? Is that what it was? It's supposed to be like canvas or something. Okay. When you buy something from Square Enix store, they have some really cool freaking stuff. They had a Vivi doll that I would have killed for, but it was like $140, so I didn't kill for it. That's too rich for my blood. But they have some really cool products. They make great music. You have the Nier Automata soundtrack. You can get that on the Square Enix store. I think that Square Enix does things kind of like Toyota. They're the Japanese way. Toyota makes their vehicles long lasting. They make them well. They're like the top automotive manufacturer in the world. I think Square Enix kind of follows that Japanese philosophy of just making good products. And I think if it's not a good product, they will do their best to make it right. They did that with Final Fantasy XIV. I think they're going to do that with Babylon's Fall. So I am excited to see where Square Enix goes. And I'm excited to see what they release in the future, because Final Fantasy 16, they're saying there's going to be a new trailer for it, and I'm super excited, and that's kind of what got me, talking about this, because I like Final Fantasy games. Okay, now number 3. How do you feel about... Let's just ask about GTA 6. Okay, so how do you feel about GTA 6? I, for one, do not think it will ever come. I do not think it will ever exist. I think Rockstar knows it has a ton of money that it can make off GTA Online. I see no reason to ask your gamers who are paying you money to move somewhere else. I think that Rockstar has an incredibly solid foundation. I think they're safe. I think that they have an incredible cash flow with GTA 5. But the good news is we might actually have a competitor. Now, I think competition in the gaming world is a fantastic thing. I do not like to see one game dominate. It's why I don't understand why Call of Duty is so popular, because you're buying the same game that you bought last year for another $60, but Activision is going to take your money anyway. I like to see that competition. And so the former president of Rockstar North has made his own company, and it's called Build a Rocket Boy, I think. It's a freaking weird name. But he is he's developing his own game and it sounds just like he's trying to combat Grand Theft Auto 5, and it is called Everywhere. Now, very little has been talked about this. I know he secured $42 million to help develop this. I don't remember where he got that from, though. He was going to develop this for Amazon, and I think that got scrapped. Okay, but this is 3 ex-Rockstar North employees: Leslie Benzies, Matthew Smith, and Colin Entwistle. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Now, it was Rural Suckers Games. Maybe you've heard of this before, but it's now Build a Rocket Boy. And it said something along the line of it's going off real life. Now, this is what worries me. There it is. It draws most of its influences from real life, according to Benzies. I feel like maybe Benzies wanted to work on a different game, and he knew that he had the Hideo Kojima effect that I What you got here, Donovan? It's on Spotify, the new Ramstein. I'm okay, so I might have to check that out on Spotify. You're awesome. Thanks, Donovan. What was I talking about? I was trying to thought. Give me a second. Let me start off in the space. Oh, with Hideo Kojima effect. So Hideo Kojima was stuck and trapped with Konami into making Metal Gear Solid games. That's what they wanted to do. That was their moneymaker. That was kind of like their bread and butter in the video game industry. And Hideo Kojima wanted out. He was done. He didn't want to make any more Metal Gear Solid games, and you could tell the story was getting stretched. Now, don't get me wrong. That Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, was easily one of the best games of all time. Such a good game. That being said, there was not enough in the story there to keep me drawn in, because he had to keep doing things that I don't really feel like he wanted to do. But he's such a good video game developer, he made it happen. And then he got the freedom and he made Death Stranding. Now I love Death Stranding. I think Death Stranding is a very... Heck yeah, Donovan. I think Death Stranding is a very unique and interesting take on what someone who wants to change their... to make something unique. After you made a game that's the same game about you have guns, you kill people, you try not to kill people. And I think that was kind of like Hideo Kojima's personality seeping into Metal Gear Solid 5. And you could really tell that in Metal Gear Solid 3. I don't know if y'all ever played Metal Gear Solid 3, but there's a moment in the game where you have to literally not fight against, but you have to deal with all of the people that you've killed in the game. You have to deal with kind of, if you look at it in terms of what Solid Snake is it Solid Snake? Naked Snake. What Naked Snake is, he's dealing with PTSD. He's dealing with the sorrow of having to take a life. Like it's not easy. And I think Hideo Kojima really wanted to push that death was something serious. Death was not something to be taken lightly. And I thought that was such a creative way to do that in Metal Gear Solid 3 and Death Stranding. But GTA 5 Online is a lot of fun. It is, especially if you play with toxic douchebags like Ratchet. I mean, he's never streamed it, but the dude's got everything. He's got all the helicopters. He's got all the tanks. He knows the meta. He knows how to fly good. He's an absolute jerk on that game. Yes, they do. COD is... Like, I just don't even see the point. I don't understand what drives people to spend the $60 on the same game. Like, I hate to say that, because I know a lot of people who might watch this are like, but I like COD. But can you really tell me it's any different? I mean, Modern Warfare, I will give you this. Modern Warfare was great. Modern Warfare 2 was great. They had a story. The campaign was fantastic. They had the Spec Ops in 2, which was so much fun. And then 3 came along. It's just like they nosedived and just focused only on multiplayer. And I was like, I mean, that's cool, but I didn't have great internet back then. And I didn't really have a lot of friends all my friends were on Xbox. I had a PS3. And, you know, I feel like it's only gone. Yes, Donovan, you are. I know you're a little far behind. You'll catch up in a second. But yes, you are. You are breathtaking. But GTA 5 is such a good game. And I'm worried that he's going to try to take, and I hate to say this, but he's going to try to take the fun out of it. The fun of GTA Online is that it's like a bouncy house. You go in there, you slam against a wall, you might bump into a few people, or a mosh pit. You might run into a few people, you might do some damage, and that's the fun of the game. It is literally just a giant playpen, and you get to play a little avatar in there doing all kinds of damage. But at the same time, we're talking about the guy who did make GTA Online. Leslie Benzies was president of Rockstar North from GTA 3 all the way through 5. So we're talking about GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Grand Theft Auto, I skipped Vice City, apologize. We're talking about Vice City, we're talking about 4, we're talking about 5. there are a few of those that are like, those are okay. But I mean, those are some really great games. This guy headed, and he wasn't, I don't know if he was developer, but this guy was in charge of the team that made these incredible games. So I'm super excited to see where this game goes. I didn't even mention what it's called. It's called Everywhere. I feel like that's a really crappy name, and it's probably going to change, and I would totally be okay with another name other than Everywhere. Because it sounds like a Sims game. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like I'm going to be managing a character that's going to talk to me like "Eewoo, eedoo doo doo doo," and I don't. Yeah, if I want to do that, I'd play a Sims game, just not Sims 4, because 2 is probably the best. But I want to see more of this. I think you have very few developers that you can look to nowadays and be like, hey, this guy makes great games. And I want to see if we can have another era where we have these developers or these teams led by people that like, hey, these guys make great games. And Leslie Benzies could be one of those people. He had the team at Rockstar for a long time. He clearly knows how to develop a very well-constructed game. You think about when Skyrim released, you had the dragons flying backwards. You have all sorts of glitches and bugs. But when GTA 5 released, the main story I'm pretty sure I remember it working. GTA 4 was the same way. They're just very tightly knit, very well-made games that you don't see a lot anymore. Cyberpunk 2077, looking at you. All right, and now we're getting into a little bit of personal, not really personal, but kind of going back into my childhood. Let's talk about my childhood for a second. It was sad, but we won't talk about the sad parts. We'll talk about the good parts of my childhood. So one of the things that I loved watching growing up was E3. I mean, I had my calendar set. Sorry, I had to check because I'm still not using the hotkeys for E3. Okay, and unfortunately E3 is gone. The companies realize that this is not good for their business. There is easier ways, there are better ways to get your news to your gamers. But I really would have loved, like that was my dream as a child, is to see E3. And so, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Geogf, Geoff Keighley, is hosting the Summer Game Fest. Now, part of me is kind of like, look, okay, I've already got PlayStation Access. I've already got these other things that I can look at. But man, part of me really just wants to go back to that childhood expectation of the one event of the year that, holy crap, I gotta watch this. I've got to watch E3. I want to see my Sony. I want to see Xbox. I want to see what the industry is going to bring to the table, and see what's going on, what the trends are. I really miss that. That was like one of my life's goals, was to get to E3, to wear the pass, to smell the disgusting body odor that everyone talked about, to get to play the games, to get to be in the booths, to get to see the different things. And there are some spectacular moments that E3 offered. It became a debacle kind of, but No Man's Sky was incredible to watch on the stage. I remember when I was young, the announcement for Metal Gear Solid 3, when he was hiding behind a wall, and these enemy soldiers were over here, and a bomb dropped and just dropped it, and there was an exclamation point. Like, some of those were so cool. Oh, shoot, Nani. Hey, Nani, how you doing? I did not know that, Nani. Did not know that at all. Now, Nani, since you're here, I know I guess you guys are a little far behind. I'm almost done, but if you want to join, would you like to join on Discord? Just put that in the chat, and I will do my best to get the code to you, because I've got like a 2-step verification, and That's my phone right there. To the camera. Yeah, there it is. That's my phone. And, it'd be kind of hard to press the button, so I can let you know in some way. Okay. What was I talking about? I was talking about E3. But that does make me sad. Now, Nani, I want to ask you a question because I like to actually talk about video games. That's interesting. Hideo Kojima didn't want to make Metal Gear Solid games anymore, did he? Like, I thought Kojima left because, like, he was sick and tired of making Metal Gear Solid games. He wanted to make something unique and he wanted to make something different, which I thought is why he made Death Stranding so different. I'm going to continue on, but when you get here, you let me know. Let me know what you know about that, because I thought that's what it was. And I could be wrong. It's been a long time and I've had a kid, so but going back to E3, I would love to see this thing take off. I miss E3. God, I loved watching E3. E3 was one of my favorite events of the year. My wife knew that when E3 was on, that I'm watching it. I'm totally watching it. 100% watching it. And then the last few years were not. They really weren't that good. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot think of anything that stuck out to me as, oh, that's incredible. I remember the last thing that I remember watching, I think it was Ghost of Tsushima was announced, and I was like, it's not really for me. But I would like to see the companies get together and get up on the stage and present these games again, because Dakota is a freaking beast. You have no idea. I think he has like a 9.0 or an 8.0 KD in GTA. But I really would like to see that one event where all the gamers are like, hey man, it's time. We all talk about it. We discuss the things. Hey, did you see what Xbox announced with Avowed? Did you see the new Fallout game? Did you see the new Zelda game? It brings a lot of community, instead of now we have, do you have a PlayStation? Well, I don't watch that PlayStation channel on YouTube. I watch, this funny guy. Like, it's just so separated from what it used to be, and I really wish we could get back to E3. And maybe not even E3, just maybe the Summer Game Fest that he's putting on. I think that would be really cool, and I hope that we can get something like that back into the mix. Okay, now this scares me, okay? And if I can get it up, my computer's being slow, I'm sorry. So I'm excited about VR. I think the next generation of VR is going to be something that really can be the gateway for a lot of people. I think we're finally getting to the point where there's an actual reason to own a VR headset. Okay? Unfortunately, one of those reasons is that the VR headset can now stimulate your mouth. I'm not even kidding. So, I don't know who developed this or why they developed it, but there's a VR headset or an attachment or something that can now stimulate your mouth, your lips, and your tongue. Now, as to what purpose this serves, I don't know. But there's a certain line to me that gaming should not cross. And once you start feeling things, that's too far. That's too far. And I'll show you why in a second, because people are crazy. And I say crazy, and I hope none of you guys are like this. God, please don't be like this. But let's see. I've tried a number of ways. So what it works like is supposedly there's these wavelengths, and it attaches to the bottom of the VR headset, and it sends these wavelengths, kind of like a vibration, to your lips and your mouth and your tongue. And I just don't understand why we need this. You have seen the videos of people walking and jumping with a VR headset on because their mind plays tricks on them, and like, I just don't like the idea of this at all. And one of the reasons is if it's on the internet or if it's associated with technology, they're gonna rule 30 for it, and it's gonna get weird. Little anime hentai, boo-boos, shoo-shoos. You know what I'm saying? They're the freaks out there, man. Okay, now, make sure no one has messaged me, but Dakota's Beast, I would love to have number 2 nines, a large number 9, a large number 6, after number 7, 245s, one with cheese, and a large. What are you talking about? Ratchet, if you're still watching, yes. I do not have a good way to get you the code because my phone is what I'm using as a camera, and the only thing I can really do is, I'm not very good with Discord, is tell you the code here. And if you would like to join, I would love for you to join. Actually, what am I saying? Of course you can join. That's so stupid. I'm inviting you now because we're friends on Discord. I don't know why I didn't do this, but if you want to join me on Discord, just add me to your friends. It is /Nathan number 7832, and I have the little green Discord symbol. And I actually think Ratchet joined me now. I can't hear him though. Oh my gosh. Hello.
I would like to object upon Donovan's account.
Okay.
Donovan, I'm speaking for him now.
Speak
but I
for
believe
Donovan.
that Donovan would be pleased if he could have his ninja girl in a VR.
If he could have his ninja girl, what?
Through VR.
Yeah, but man, let me pull this up real quick. And yes, Donovan, Rip X Play, they actually have it on YouTube now. You can watch it, but I'm gonna be honest, it's not the same. I did not enjoy the new YouTube at all. It's just, I don't know, it just didn't feel right. Did you remember that thing I sent about the guy who married the anime character?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know.
What hell? You want to make a VR headset for this man?
Listen, I don't care about that man. It's money. It's going to happen.
Oh my God!
People will pay top dollar so that they have a partner in their mom's basement.
I don't want it to happen though.
It's going to happen.
No, please.
Listen, I just want you to picture like full dive Subverse VR.
No, see, that's what I'm afraid of. Listen, okay, when I get the health bonus in GTA 5 from the nice lady on the street, okay, I don't want to feel it.
Get the health bonus.
The health bonus. I don't do it for the sounds.
Health bonus, you say. That's the difference between. I couldn't care less about it in GTA or anything, but people would love that stuff.
Yeah, but man, like, when does it? My question is, when does it stop? Okay, and for those of you who are watching this is a guy who actually married a hologram, like legally. I don't know how marriages work in Japan, but this dude legally married this little doll right here. The doll has a ring on its little nub. Okay, and that little hologram, the reason this made video is because that hologram server died or something like that, and and
Oh my goodness.
and he couldn't talk to her anymore. It wasn't real. But this is where it starts. Okay, first you feel it in your teeth and your gums, and and the
But
next.
look at it from the bright side. Do you know how many weak people would be weeded out? I don't mean this in a negative way to Donovan, because I think the actual people would have this. I think actual people would have like some of the smutty VR stuff,
Yeah.
but they'd still be able to have like relations and relationships with real people.
Listen, you can't have relationships if you never leave the house.
I'm saying the majority wouldn't, but I'm saying the actual
You're,
like.
so what you're telling me is this would be Darwinism's way.
Yeah, just weed out the weak bloodlines.
I don't want you to die.
They don't have to die. They just can't reproduce.
I don't. But then you would die and not have any kids, and then your lineage wouldn't live on. I'm worried about you here. You act like you wouldn't get the VR headset, but listen.
Oh no, I would totally get it. I don't know what you're talking about. Under the right circumstances, I mean, it would have to be pretty like full dive type stuff. I would have no interest in hooking myself up to some weird machine that vibrates because I would have no interest in that.
Yeah, no one wants to like be
But
watching their VR.
If it's like,
go ahead.
Yeah, if it could be like full dive, like where your consciousness goes in. Oh yeah, I'll be all for it.
You mean the Matrix?
Make all the smart games you want.
The Matrix.
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
Anything less than that, I wouldn't partake in.
It's too far. I think this is too far. I think that we're having sensations through a VR headset is just too much. It's too much. We don't need to feel things like actual sensations through our video games. It would be better if Kojima. Yes, it would.
But think of the immersion if you're playing Nier Automata and your feet hurt and your butt's just cold the entire game.
You get a slight breeze from your feet. You know, that's a sensation I can live without. My feet hurt enough at work, and I don't like my butt being cold. Nani says it would be great if Kojima owns Metal Gear. 100%. I think if Kojima had his way, he could make a stellar game, especially with the cast and crew that he brought in for Death Stranding. I love you, honey. I think he could do something incredible. I think he has so much pull in the industry. I think he's such a popular guy that he could do incredible things. And I say that because Nani's really far behind us. So, sorry, Ratchet, but no. Video game.
Donovan's all about it.
Where do you see that? I don't see that in the chat.
He says, now I can taste my Ninja Girl.
Oh my god. I gotta get on the YouTube channel so I can actually see the chat. No, Donovan, no. It didn't say you could taste it. Well, that doesn't help. I was going to say you could just feel it, but that just makes it worse, doesn't it? You can feel your Ninja Girl. But Donovan...
Well, Donovan, from the way I made that character, I can tell you what the taste would be right now.
Oh my god.
Resentment, disappointment, daddy issues, and I don't know what else. Probably a little bit of coke.
A little bit of cocaine. Oh man. That is funny. No. In my future, I'll be chasing tornadoes. I don't understand. That's okay.
I take it as in if it's VR, he's going to go spin around in circles.
Oh my god, okay, it makes sense to me now. I don't know. Maybe this could be something really cool. Like, you know, me and the kids played laser tag once or twice, but if you get shot with the laser tag, it kind of vibrates on your chest and it's like a feedback. And I think PlayStation with the triggers, that's really cool. You know about the triggers on the PS5, right?
The triggers.
Yeah, they actually have feedback. So say you're pulling back a bow, you actually have to pull harder on the trigger. Like there's a spring in there that will resist you as compared to like if you're shooting a Glock.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
I did
yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, the PS5 controller is an incredible piece of hardware. They've got two sensors. Like, say you're driving a car and your right tire is off the road and your left tire is on the road, your right hand will feel the vibration, but your left hand won't.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's super cool. And so part of me like gets it, like, hey, that would be cool, but it depends on what they mean by sensations, because that just that is a
Just
clickbait word. That is
I
why they
want
did
you
that.
to I want you to realize that just think about the history of the Japanese post World War II.
It okay.
You know it's going to be
I know,
smut.
you know it's gonna be smut,
You know
100%.
it's going to. You know it's made with smut in mind, and everything else is just good marketing.
You get to be the tentacle monster this time. Oh my god. Oh, Donovan says in real life tornado chasing. That's freaking cool. If you're actually gonna do that,
Oh,
that's awesome. Uh, man, I wish you would have showed up earlier, Ratchet. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff that you would have really enjoyed.
yeah, I didn't realize you were on until they had already started the game.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Look
Uh,
that way.
and I wish Storm was here because these last few ones are actually pretty exciting. I do want to ask you this, okay?
Yeah.
What do you think? And whatever it is, okay? You just let me know. When I say GTA 6, what do you think?
Like what comes to mind?
Yeah, what do you think about the future
A
concerning?
horrible child favored pay to win system with mommy's credit card.
I didn't know EA was making GTA 6. So
I don't know. I don't know where they'll go with it. Probably space.
they would have to, wouldn't they?
There's not much left.
So let me get this loaded up real quick and I'll put it in the stream. I showed it earlier, but the former president of Rockstar North now has his different video game company called Build a Rocket Boy.
Yeah.
And he is making his own game now.
It was two brothers that split, right? Or something like that.
No, that was Dan Hauser and someone else. I think that's who you're thinking about. I'm talking about Leslie Benzies. I don't think that was part of it. Leslie
Okay.
Benzies was the one who said that they owed him a crap ton of money, and he won that suit. I think he left in 2017, and when he came back, they wouldn't let him back in, and so he's like, "Look, you guys owe me money for GTA Online," and I think he made like 100 million or something like that. That's probably not right, but he made a ton of money. But everywhere is the next game from former Rockstar president Leslie Benzies. This guy was the president during GTA 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas 4 and 5, and GTA Online. And I don't know. It doesn't show me anything about it. But when someone has that kind of resume,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you have to pay attention. So, what do you think about there being? Because you love Grand Theft Auto Online, you are a madman, and I told everybody you're insane on Grand Theft Auto Online. What do you think about a competitor?
Like a competitor to GTA, the franchise?
Yeah,
I think it would be great for it.
and that's what I said. I think competition would be great for that game.
The closest thing to a competitor to GTA 5 or GTA at all is the Saints Row games.
Yeah, but man, they're just
And
not.
they're not there.
They're not tight knit enough. I talked earlier about you think about every single one of those games. Do you remember when Skyrim released? Like you remember
No.
you never played a Elder Scrolls game. Just think about
I never, yeah, I never played.
Cyberpunk 2077
Yeah.
was an absolute mess on launch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just awful. Name one GTA game that has been a mess on launch.
GTA 5.
Was it a mess?
It was a train wreck.
Not GTA Online.
Oh, just the game itself?
The game itself. GTA
Oh,
Online came
okay,
after.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
But that
GTA 5, the campaign, the story mode, it was fine.
everything worked great. Very
Yeah.
tight knit, well made game, and I think when you have somebody like that who can bring a team together, I mean, this guy can do some stuff. He secured 42 million for this game.
I think it would be really good just for Rockstar to have some competition.
Because there
Is
is,
it going to push them to do more?
because they need to. I'm really disappointed with how they handled Red Dead Online.
It was such a waste on Red Dead.
It's such a waste because
They could have done so much fun stuff with Red Dead.
the train. All they had to do was give me something with the train. I would have been happy for days. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Was put a few Gatling guns on the side of the train.
yes, give me an armored
But you have
vehicle.
fun with it.
Yeah, but then I don't know why they won't. That's the thing, and I think you're right. I think forcing Rockstar's hand to innovate and diversify, other than just letting the Chad 12-year-olds play GTA Online behind their parents' back.
Yeah.
I feel like they need something to compete with.
Rockstar actually lost or pissed off a lot of their hardcore fan base with GTA 5. I think. Just because they made in the beginning it was fine. It was the typical GTA, you get the people that are good and then they destroy the people that are crap.
Yeah.
But the way they've done it now with you can spawn all these motorcycles and spawn the oppressors and spawn whatever, and you have an RC car where you go invisible off radar. Nobody can see you. You could just go hide from somebody. And there's just a million ways for somebody to just be a big wimp or nerd about things and try to get KD off people with no skill.
Yeah.
Like, at all.
Which is...
There's all kinds of crap.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in there to have fun, just go there to have fun. But there are people in there like you that play for the KD.
Oh yeah, I'm beyond toxic in that game.
Oh yeah, I've already told everybody you're a douchebag. But I mean, if you're in the server, and I know, I'm not gonna stick around. I will just go to a different. Like they made there's ways. They didn't have to screw you over because there's a ton of you out there. There are a lot of toxic GTA players, but I mean, just go to a different server. I don't understand. They made it to where you had options. I don't understand why they did that.
Right.
But
and
go ahead.
I was just gonna say that, and they were so slow about fixing like God mode glitches. 'Cause every time they have an expansion, there'd be a new God mode glitch. And I just got tired of people trying to wreck. You get people like that have been bullied in the game forever because they're shit at the game. Even even without oppressors and tanks and other stuff and just gunfights, they're just bad. They don't understand the mechanics, so they're just trash. And they'll go on YouTube and they'll get, oh, this is a new God mode glitch, and then they'll get their KD up that way, and then they will target people who have good KD to go ruin their KD because they know they can't die.
Yep. And
I think stuff like that needs to be taken seriously and it needs to be banned.
Yeah, but how many?
I would give one warning and then I'd ban the account.
Yeah, but how many games? Like, name one that isn't that way.
Right, because it's people like that are buying their stupid shark cards, the in-game money.
They're making tons of money off. They're not going to fix that.
So they know that kid that is excited about this update because they have God mode now. They're going to leave in the game for a few weeks, let everybody have fun with it. Then they'll patch it,
make some money,
and then they're hoping you buy the shark card. In the meanwhile, oh my God, my glitch is patched. I guess I'll go play the new story. Oh, there's a $10 million paywall. I don't play the game. I don't want to grind. Let me just get mom's credit card.
God, how many hours have you ground in that game?
Oh, gosh, so many. So many. I would just leave the PlayStation running in the bunker.
God, for hours.
And that was a good way of being able to make money without having to super grind.
It was a balance. Like Red Dead did not have the balance at all. GTA Online had a very good balance, and it's unfortunate that they let it slide as low as it's gone. Donovan says Battlefield 2042, aka Battlefield of Hot Mess of a Launch. I honestly didn't pay any attention to it.
I heard good stuff initially, like in the first day or two, and then just nothing but bad stuff.
Yeah, I heard the launch was a mess, but I played if Battlefield 1 was free or Battlefield 5 was free on PlayStation Plus, and I tried it and it was really bad. Like
Wasn't.
it of all the gunplay of the first person shooter games, I think Battlefield has the worst.
Mm,
Like as long as there's just two people aiming at one person, you're gonna win the gunfight. I didn't feel like there was any skill. I hopped in and I did well, and that was annoying. That was I didn't. I mean, I'm not good at first person shooters. If I want to get good, I have to practice. And for me to hop in and go positive or break even the first time and then the second time after you get past that game where they try to get you hooked, no. No, it shouldn't be that way. I should have to struggle to figure out the game. I mean, honestly, there's some
right.
people. Now, there are some people out there that are skilled at first-person shooters. That it just comes naturally to them. I'm not one of those people, and if I can hop in and whoop y'all, there's something wrong with the game.
Right.
So, Donovan says Battlefield 4 is better. Battlefield 3 was my favorite. That was the one that I played. I was like, man, that was fun. That was a lot of fun playing Battlefield. I think me and Storm played it, and it was a lot of fun.
I never really got into the Battlefield games very much at all.
Well, yeah, that one was like what 2010.
Yeah, that was an old one.
Now, continuing on. Unfortunately, you're not going to be interested in anything else on here. Last thing is there's a guy named Colin Moriarty, and Colin Moriarty is kind of the guy I want to be. He used to work for IGN before IGN became a bunch of puds, and he's just got like all the insider information. When Colin Moriarty says something about video games, you pay attention to it because he's probably freaking right. And so it was a very subtle tweet, not a big deal, but he did say you haven't seen the last of Bloodborne.
No, really.
Yes, and when Colin Moriarty says stuff about video games, you better freaking pay attention. So I think it's time. I think it's time for Bloodborne 2. But here's my thought. Now, you've played it, but Yharnam was my favorite part of Bloodborne. The city was incredible. That was just a beautiful world and a fun world to be in. What if they did a Bloodborne open world like Elden Ring?
I think now after Elden Ring, if they did do Bloodborne, it would have to be open world almost.
You think there's not even an option anymore? Was Elden Ring?
I think once they introduced it, I think people are just going to be pissy unless they do it like some hardcore Dark Souls stuff and they go back to like even more difficult Souls type. I don't picture people really enjoying it as much.
So you think you think we've crossed that line to where, hey, people really enjoyed Elden Ring and Elden Ring sold really freaking well. You think it's going to be one of those things if people hear that this is not open world, they're just not going to pay attention to it.
Yeah, I think Elden Ring for a Souls game it was more forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And it allowed for like a more diverse player base to try to get into it.
From what I understand, it was easier, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay. It gave you more
options.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, it allowed. Well, there's more exploring to get better at the game and to get more, level up more. You're not sitting there trying to kill that same monster for 10 souls.
Okay, yeah.
Trying to get that next level.
You could go out and grind here and then grind there, and there were different ways to get. I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it would work really well. I would actually really love to see an open world Yharnam type world, because that world was incredible. You beat Bloodborne, didn't you? Didn't you Storm Clay and someone else like just
Yes.
Yeah, you guys gangbang the bosses.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I would love to see a very open world Bloodborne. I think the speed and the chaos that Bloodborne can create in its combat would be super cool in an open world game.
Yeah, it would be really neat. I think I like the trick weapons that Bloodborne had.
Yes, and I actually
It's a
read
cool way to think.
something. I actually read something in my feed when I was looking for some stuff to do the podcast about. They said that that's what they want to do. They want to continue making the trick weapons, which is great because the trick weapons were freaking cool.
Yeah,
It's like one of the
yeah, they were.
best ideas for video games. It's like they played Final Fantasy VIII and saw a gunblade and be like, we can make that cool.
Yeah,
And they did. Some of them guns were freaking awesome. So, all right. I do want to go back on one more thing. Do you own a Switch?
I do not.
It is time, my friend. It is time to own a Switch. Listen, now, I've got a list here, and it's got a game for, like, there is a game on here for everybody, okay? And the first one on this list is for you. Just for you, okay? Releasing this year on Nintendo Switch is Bayonetta 3. Oh yeah, I know. Don't you ever?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've tickled your fancy already, and I bet you she's tickled more than your fancy.
Bayonetta was a fun game. I enjoyed Bayonetta.
I think Bayonetta was Platinum doing what Platinum does, and Platinum makes good games. That's what.
It's really weird, not to rabbit trail, but it's really weird how Bayonetta was like wildly popular and people loved it, and they made a few games for it, but they haven't done anything with like the last two generations of consoles that I'm aware of.
Yeah, like it was. I don't even have they released Bayonetta 2 on PS4. I know they released Bayonetta.
I think they just did the one with the combo deal
with Vanquish, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Yeah, after the 10th anniversary of both of them, so they come in a pack. Yeah, I got it right here.
They
Vanquish
must have some exclusivity deal with Nintendo, which honestly makes a lot of sense to me because Nintendo has sold more PS4s in the U.S. than, sold more Switches than PS4s in the U.S. now. But like, you think that these, like Sony and maybe not Microsoft, but Sony for sure would fight like, hey, we really want Bayonetta on our system. But
yeah,
but I mean, if you don't want to have to wait like a year or half a year, you might want to get a freaking Switch.
you're poor.
It's $300. You're gonna buy a gaming PC. Don't lie to me.
Listen,
Please tell me the cost efficiency here. You have a game console for $300. I think it's actually cheaper now. $300. You can take it anywhere. They have Smut games. They have Bayonetta 3. They have Sonic games. They have Kirby games. You can actually play Super Mario 64 when you get the online expansion pass. You can play The Legend of Zelda. You can play Pokemon, Star Fox 64, Super Mario 10. Like, it's so good. I love the Switch. I don't know why I waited so long to buy it. But I know you want to watch Bayonetta 3. I know you just want to look at the cutscenes. You sick.
watch the cutscene.
Sick man. But I mean, I got a cramp. Oh, old age. What unfortunate timing. Oh God. But yeah,
Is Metroid on Switch?
they're actually. Hold on. Oh God. Metroid is on Switch. I can't remember the last one that they made. Let me actually look that up.
I remember playing that like deep in my childhood, a long time ago.
Are you talking about like the original SNES version?
Yeah.
I remember the GameCube. There was one of them on the GameCube that was just phenomenal. It was so good. I can't remember. I think it was Metroid Prime. I can't remember. The last one released was Metroid Dread in 2021, but I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, I think there's a lot of potential for the Metroids game. I think people really like. Let me actually show what I'm looking at.
Samus.
They just like a good female lead. You know, think about it. How much do you love 2B?
Yeah, 2B was good. I think what her name's Samus, right, or something like that.
Samus Aran, yeah.
Samus. Okay. I think what the good thing about her was, I don't from the way I could be misremembering it, but it wasn't in your face like this is a man or a woman. It was just somebody in a suit.
Yeah,
like initially.
I believe it was original SNES when you finally beat the game. Either she took off her armor or she broke off her armor, and you could tell she was a woman, and people were shocked, like, "Oh my god!" But yeah, they don't try to push this narrative.
Yeah, they don't push a big strong man. They don't push a strong independent woman. It's just you can appreciate them for how they were throughout the game.
Yeah, they're just cool. Like 2B was freaking cool.
Yeah.
And she was her own character. She did her own thing. And honestly, I don't think Nier Automata would have had the same emotional impact that it did if 2B was a guy.
Well, no.
Because that, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there are some freaking heart-wrenching moments. Like just jaw-dropping, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening moments in Nier Automata. Shut up, Donovan. Leave me alone.
My boy 9S did nothing wrong.
He didn't do it. Yes, he did. You know he did.
My boy 9S did nothing wrong. Innocent.
I mean, was it really? Here's the question. Was it really his fault? Or was the virus finally taking over far enough? Like in that moment at the end, I don't want to spoil anything, but that moment at the end, did he really have a choice?
At that point, I'm not sure.
Because if you remember, there's a moment where he opened his eyes, and you remember what color they were.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you've got to question whether 9S actually had a decision to make.
I think he did.
I don't think so. Like the more I look back at it, there might have been a moment, a glimmer of hope that Yoko Taro does what Yoko Taro does, and he just rips it right out of your jugular as soon as he opened his eyes. That was one of the... I rewatched it because I wanted to rewatch it. I don't know why, but just one of the defining moments when he opens his eyes and they're red, and you're like, oh my god.
I think his choice, even if he didn't have a choice maybe in that moment, him continuing the journey and, putting that thing on from that one android, we'll just say.
Yeah.
That was the choice to continue onward no matter what.
It was the decision was made well before.
Because right before then, he was already mentally broken.
Oh yeah, he was gone.
When the rest of those showed up, like that was it.
Oh yeah.
Virus or not, he checked out then.
Oh, it was devastating. It was devastating. He did. He was like he didn't have a choice at that point. I remember that. Because you cut to A2 after that, and you come back, and he does the... Oh, my God. That was rough. How dare you, Donovan? I do not wear New Balance. New Balance are trash shoes. God. Donovan's making fun of me over here. He's like, okay, Boomer, with those cramps. Dang it.
I mean, he's not wrong, but I would imagine Nathan wears Crocs, and he wears safety toe Crocs to work.
Oh my god. Okay, so there is a shoe brand that I really, really love. They have zero drop, which means there's no drop from the heel to your toes, so it's almost like you're walking barefoot, but there's protection. They're called Zero, Xero, and I love them. That is what I wear.
I haven't heard of them.
Yeah, that's because it's a young person thing, you old heathen. Call me a freaking boomer. I'm never wearing a collared shirt again. Now I just feel old. I tried to dress nice for the podcast, and now Donovan's got me thinking I just look old.
Get you a billboard hat. Let's get you F the police shirt. You'll be all right.
Wearing sideways.
Put a
Get the thug glasses.
get rid of the Tifa background and just put a Snoop Dogg background.
Oh my god. No, no, no. Ice Cube. Not Ice Cube. What's it? Yeah, that's Ice Cube. One who sounds angry all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah, straight out of Compton.
there you go.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about Metroid. Yeah, female leads. I do. I feel like as long as you have a female lead that's just cool, I feel like you can do so much more with them. I feel like you can. You
Yeah,
should
because
rip
a lot of it,
N6, right?
the female leads in a lot of shows, it's forced and it's not
Yeah,
natural.
just the personality and way they come off. It just doesn't. It just doesn't make
Yeah,
sense why they would do the things that they do. Yeah, 100% agree. I don't know. There's not many games that get me excited anymore, so looking towards the future, I've had to branch out, and I think Nintendo has the best lineup right now. You know, maybe Sony will. Sony has Final Fantasy 16 coming out. They're gonna release was supposedly gonna be the final trailer very soon, which I'm super excited for. Um, Microsoft has a ton of games in the works, but I don't really have a release date for any of those. But Nintendo right now is the place to be. And I hate to say that because, I mean, you look at the background, I've got T5. I like PlayStation. I like Sony. Nintendo's about to kill it. I 100% believe that.
hmm.
I do. I think if you have not got a Switch yet, I think you are really missing out on one of the most different and best gaming experiences out there. I'm not even kidding. Playing Star Fox, it sounds weird saying Star Fox 64 was the highlight for me, but going back and playing that game and just thinking about how it was as a kid compared to now, it was surreal in a way. Because I was better as a kid and I suck at video games. But yeah, I think if you don't own a Switch, now is the time to play one, see for yourself, and invest in it. I think Nintendo's gonna have a very bright future.
Yeah. I was excited for, and it's probably going to wind up being just a generic game. We'll see because it's been delayed forever. It was originally going to come out for PS4 and the Xbox, and now it's just going to be the PS5 and the new Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Project Eve? I know we talked about it a little bit before. You remember it?
Is that the one with the really attractive girl?
She's not like really attractive.
I'm trying to remember. Let me look.
She's got a body, not a face.
Yeah, it looked a lot like Nier Automata, right?
Yeah, it looks similar.
Yes, I remember this. Who was the dev of that game? I can't even remember. Oh, this is EVE Online. Dang it. Trying to get it to where everybody can see.
Yeah, there's not even a release date for it yet.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't think there was. I know it looked. It looks like Nier Automata without Yoko Taro. That's what I remember it looking like. Developer is Shift Up Corporation. That's all it's got. Platforms, they need to change that. It says PS4, Xbox One, Microsoft, Windows, and PlayStation 5.
I mean, we'll see. I have considered getting a Switch, but I just hadn't pulled the trigger on it.
I think you really messed up. You should have got it when they had the Super Mario All-Stars, which was Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Odyssey for $60. I think it should be playing now on the stream. This is the Project Eve game we were talking about. I don't know. I really don't like going back to Project Eve. like part of me is excited for another company to come up and do a good job. I always like new games. I like new companies coming in doing well. But this is so clearly based on Nier Automata.
Well, to a degree, I believe it is. I, I'm not sure. Story wise, I think everything else wise, it could be very much based off of it.
Mm-hmm.
But story wise, I have no idea.
Yeah. It's so hard to find a good story anymore that I've just kind of lost faith. Um,
Everything's just been so overdone.
it's been so overdone. I can't think of the last. What is the last story that I played that I really enjoyed? It would be Near Replicant. That would be the last game that I beat.
Yeah.
And you know, it's funny that you've played. You actually suggested the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince.
Yes.
And it's a fantastic game. I haven't beat it yet. It's in my backlog. But like
It's really good though.
it's fantastic. The story, just the beginning, is enough to get you hooked. But like there's a desire for that. Like I want games like that. And you're like completely, I wouldn't say completely opposite, but you're much more uh of a one-sided gamer. Like you could not play a turn-based game like I could, like Final Fantasy.
Right.
Yeah, and we both really enjoy those games, and I hope that there is more games like that in the future.
Yeah, we're just suckers for a good story.
We're
That's
suckers for
really
this.
it.
Yeah, and it's so hard to find. We've actually had to been reduced to playing side-scrolling games. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Donovan says, I've grown up with the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and first model of the DS and the PS2 Slim.
I remember the Game Boy Color. I did not have an Advanced or DS or Slim.
I think the last one I had was the Advanced, and honestly, the color was better.
Was it?
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance was like the precursor to actual handheld games. It just wasn't powerful enough to make a good, like a super good game like you could get on the PSP or you could get on the Nintendo DS. I think they knew what they were limited to with the Game Boy Color, and so you got games that they knew what they were doing. They developed games like that's like playing an SNES game. You know what you're going to get when you get an SNES game. I feel like the Game Boy Advance was just not. It was too much in between, and they didn't know what to do with it. And they experimented too much, and I feel like it failed. The only thing that I would love to see come back from the Game Boy Advance is Golden Sun. I'm pretty sure that was a Game Boy Advance game. Golden Sun was so good. God, I would love a revival of Golden Sun.
I do not believe I've heard of it.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have. It's a turn-based RPG. That's all it was, but it was just so good. It was you played off different elements and stuff like that. Like it's been stuff that's been done before, but the world that they created was super cool. The way they used powers was super. It's just such a well realized vision of a game, and they put it together so well. It was so good. And if you ask people who played Game Boy Advance, they've probably heard of Golden Sun. Golden Sun was great. And Donovan, I remember wanting a PSP, but the only reason I wanted a PSP for was like two games. I wanted Persona 4 Golden, and I think it was Gravity Rush. But I think that was the PS Vita. I can't remember. But yeah, Gravity Rush, which you can get on the PS4 now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember wanting a PSP, but I do not remember what games I wanted to play on it. What my aspirations were.
The PSP was like Sony's GameCube in my mind, because there was those games on the GameCube that you're like, man, I really want a GameCube for Metroid Prime. I really want a GameCube for Resident Evil 4. And then I feel like that was Sony's GameCube. They just didn't have enough production of video games for it, because it was a super cool device. It was really strong for what it was.
Okay.
Very, very powerful handheld device, and just they couldn't get anybody to develop games for it. I don't think.
Donovan, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, respond to what Donovan said in chat. I remember playing, we went out west when I was real young. I had a Game Boy Color. I remember playing Space Invaders for like 4 states. Probably more than that. I love Space Invaders. That's so much fun.
You can get things like that on the Game Boy Color because they knew what they were doing. It's what you had. I had a Jurassic Park. Donovan says I had a Jurassic Park game for my Game Boy Color, and that was an amazing game to play. Everyone who has a Game Boy Color has a memory with it.
Yeah.
That like you have that moment. You're like, man, I love the Game Boy Color, and you think back to that one time. For me, it was I traded in Onyx in Pokemon Silver for the first time at school. I got an Onyx. What did I have? I had like a level 66 ferret or something like that, and it just whooped the piss out of everybody. And he was like, I got a level 16 Onyx. I was like, okay, sure. So that's what I did.
Yeah. See, I never played Pokemon, so all that's lost on me.
I don't know. Pokemon still sells big. I don't understand why, but it's just turn-based collectathons. That's all it is. It's still super popular.
It's got to be the collecting aspect of it that sells.
I don't know. I don't know what's so popular about it, but it does. I think go ahead.
I was gonna say we had an engineer at work. They fired him surprisingly, but he was the same guy. I believe that the other. Well, I won't name names. Anyway, he was running. What was that mobile game? Pokemon Go?
Yes.
Was that it?
Yes, it's Pokemon Go.
He was running around during work collecting Pokemon on our map machines.
I mean, everyone. Do you not remember how huge that game was? That game was.
I mean, it was big.
Everyone was playing Pokemon Go. Everyone who had a smartphone. I didn't have a smartphone at the time, but yeah, I've never seen fat kids exercise more than when Pokemon Go came out. And you got that. We gotta get this Charizard, guys. We gotta get. Oh my gosh. I mean, that is the most brilliant exercise idea I've ever seen. So
We'll make the nerds go outside with this one, boys.
Yeah, we'll get them this time. It did. It freaking worked. Everybody. I worked at the gym as a personal trainer, and even like the big jocks were like, "Hey, man, you got stuff here at the gym?" And I was like, "Oh, we do? That's freaking cool." I didn't know they had Modern Warfare on the DS.
What the heck?
I don't know. I feel like the Switch is the pinnacle of handheld devices at this point. I feel like anything less is just not going to cut it anymore.
Did you hear about the Switch VR headset that gives you mouth vibrations?
No, douchebag. No, I have not. I know Valve has jumped on it, or not Valve. I know Steam has jumped on it. They have their own Steam handheld device now. Like they see this is a big thing, but I think it's too late. I think Nintendo's got a stranglehold on the market now.
Yeah, the Switch is massive.
Huge, and I think it's going to continue to be huge. I think it's only going to get bigger because it's such a convenient device to play your games. You have to have one to just know how convenient it is to have your baby screaming at you and you turn on Cocomelon on the TV, and then you just pick up the Switch, and it's like,
right.
Holy crap, I'm free. Like, it's so good to have a Switch. You have no idea. If you're a parent, if you're a kid, if you're traveling, you're in school, there's literally no person who cannot use a Switch.
And Nintendo was on the forefront of this stuff, in video games in general, really.
What do you mean?
And so, like the old stuff. They had the NES. They had like you said, everybody like with the Game Boy Color. Everybody that had one has a memory of it.
Yes. Yes.
So Nintendo's already a home brand anyway.
Hmm. Yeah, but think about the last time you owned a Nintendo console.
That is true.
See, the
It's been a while.
the Nintendo 64 was great, but you had the GameCube, which, I mean, the GameCube didn't have nothing. And then you had the Wii, which really turned hardcore gamers like me off. It's like, why would I buy a Wii? It's not for me. I don't care about motion controls. But then you made gaming convenient, and you made gaming good for everyone in the house. I can do things to make my baby stop crying at me, and I can get a break and play video games. Oh my god, thank you, Nintendo. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I can't haul my PS4 to class and play it in between classes, but I can pull my Switch out of my backpack. Freaking brilliant. And I do. I think Nintendo, if they don't pull another GameCube, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be really, really incredible. You need to get one. But that does that.
As soon as YouTube takes off.
Soon as what?
As soon as YouTube takes off.
Shoot, man, the way you're gaining subs, it'll be no time at all. By the way, if you haven't subbed, sub to Ratchet Gaming. Do it. It's awesome. All right, but unfortunately my battery is dying and I am all out of talking points. This has been the Double Action Podcast. If you want to join next time, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I'll log into YouTube on the computer next time. That way I can just type it in the chat what the Discord code is. Ratchet, if you have anybody that would like to join the conversation, bring them. I really want to get the podcast going because I'm not good at video games. I think this would be a very good outlet because I love talking. I love talking about them. I'm just not good at playing them. But Donovan, thanks for joining. Nani, thanks for stopping by. I hope you'll have a fantastic day. Thanks for joining, Ratchet. You're awesome.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, now I've got to wait like 10 seconds or it will cut off the end of the stream.
No. Awkward silence for 10 seconds. Outstanding.